All right, now that you have checked your topic sentence with your reason, now we're going to check our evidence and our TLQC. There are 5 things we're going to look for. So I'll go through them with the example, and then I'd like you to go through your own TLQC and check off the things that you have. So let's go ahead and read the example TLQC just to get a feel for what it should look like. Then we'll go through the checklist and see that it has each of the 5 success criteria. So it says, and we're looking at the yellow highlight here, for example, an article titled Tree Octopus Conservation explained that many logging companies want to chop down the valuable trees where this animal lives. While efforts were made in the past to preserve remaining tree octopus habitat, these were met by resistance by the timber industry, which has traditionally viewed the tree octopus as a nuisance because the octopuses favor valuable, moss-shrouded trees of old-growth forest, pitting conservation needs against lucrative sources of lumber. Zapat 5. All right, so we need to make sure we have everything on the success criteria. The first thing we're looking for is that you have a transition phrase, like in addition or for example. So I noticed that in the beginning of this sentence, it does say, for example. So what that means is I could drag my check mark and check off the first success criteria. The second success criteria is that you include background information, such as the article's title, the author's name, or necessary information that you need to understand the quote. So if I look here, I have the name of the article, and I also gave some information that the logging companies are trying to cut down the trees where the animal lives. I think this information will help my reader to understand what the quote is about. So I do have that background information. I do have the article's title. No one's talking in my quote, so I didn't need to say who's talking. It's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I could drag that check mark box and I could put it to say that I did the second success criteria as well. The third success criteria says accurately write your quote word for word and in quotation marks. So I did copy and paste this from my article, and I have a quotation mark at the beginning, and I have a quotation mark at the end. So I followed that success criteria. I could drag the check mark and check it off. I also need a citation at the end of my quote that includes the author's name and page number. If I look here at the end, I do have my parenthesis, the author's last name, and the page number and a parenthesis at the end. So I have my citation. I could drag the check mark and check off the fourth success criteria. The final success criteria is that you have a period at the end of your TLQC. So go after the citation. If I look right here, you can see I got a period. It's right at the very, very end. So I could check off that success criteria. Now for you guys, what I'd like you to do is open up your TLQC, find that on your essay, read through it, and just check, did you do all 5 of these things? Once you've checked them off, you're ready to move on. If you notice you can't check something off, then I want you to fix it, make a change so that you have the thing that you need, and then you can check it off and move on. Remember, this is to make sure that our writing is proficient and our best writing. All right, when you're done, we'll talk about commentary.